Transform your home during Blinds.com's Cyber Monday Super Sale. Get up to 50% off site-wide, plus huge doorbuster deals on popular styles. Go DIY and do it all 100% online, or choose white glove service with expert design help and professional installation. Both backed by Blinds.com's 100% satisfaction guarantee. Blinds.com's Cyber Monday Super Sale is here. Save up to 50% site-wide and get a free professional measure. Limited time offer, rules and restrictions apply. See Blinds.com for details.
Hey, Chantel.
Hey, Roxanne.
Good early morning. How was your sleep yesterday?
Horrible.
Oh my gosh, still?
Yeah, I mean, like, it's just, I get a good first stretch with her, but then after that, it's downhill.
It's crazy because it just doesn't get better.
Okay, then.
I mean, because I sit there and I text you at like 2 a.m. and I'm like, Jack just woke up, yada, yada, yada. So like, and then you'll text me at a random time in the middle of the night. So it is crazy. I know we're talking about Salt Lake City and we have a lot of catching up to do. We're going to go through some main points, but a lot of people were saying like, Roxanne, we're Team Whitney about the whole Dancing with the Stars.
Yeah. Did you not expect that?
No, I did. I mean, I feel like she's getting quite a bit of love. Like I know people say that she gets hate, but I feel like she's getting quite a bit of love. And so,
well, I think people don't like that people are going after her and giving her hate because she's a good dancer. It's like, or like, like doing stuff like to get her off, like when it's on a show of dancing, when it's like, if you don't like her, like, I think that's why like people was giving them so much hate, like giving so much hate to the people that were doing that to them. Like they didn't agree with that. Well, but I think a lot of people just still don't like her.
So Nick Vile, on his podcast, him and his wife, I guess, like we're doing a segment, which I didn't know they do segments together. I thought it was just like interviews. And they were doing a segment together and they're getting a lot of shit because the wife says like, she has, because she got Roxy on Broadway. And that was what Ariana Grande got, which is so funny because like low key that Broadway show is like brilliant because when people pop off and get a lot of attention, that Roxy show is like, oh, perfect. We'll have them on our show then. So first it was not Ariana Grande. Oh my gosh, not Ariana Grande, Ariana Madix because of the breakup.
Yeah.
And now Whitney, which I think Whitney is like obviously made for Broadway. But the girl says, which I'm sorry, I don't know his wife's name, but she says like, she has like 3 young kids. Like, what are you going to do with your 3 young kids? And a lot of people are saying like that was so mom shaming of her. And it was kind of awkward. I'm not going to lie.
Like you're saying, like, why would she say that or the way she said it?
No, I think like it kind of, she is like trying to say like she's taking this job, but like you're going to be away from your 3 young kids and basically saying like, I can't imagine doing that.
Yeah. But like we've said things like that before. I don't know anything about Broadway, like what their schedule is, like how many nights are out there. Like I think people forget that like the dad really can just up and move. Like the dad is a stay-at-home dad, it seems like. So he's the one that's taking care of the kids anyways. And they can go and travel with them and they can go to New York with them and just, she's there when she's off of work.
I mean, at the end of the day though, Chantel, like I've had my kids in Montessori and I've had my kids in school. So because I'm working. So it is pretty much the same thing, where like, that's kind of like what most Americans have to do right now. It's like a 2-person income where the woman does have to work. So I feel like it is similar than for most of like the regular world to be working. So
yeah, it's not like Winnie's going on a reality show, Cuff Love Island, where she has no contact with 3 of her kids and she can't speak to them.
That's I'm like, what is that's crazy. Like I could never do that. And I know that sometimes we got shit about talking about Huda for doing that. But like, even now when I see Huda, I'm like, where's your daughter? Like that is completely different to me. Like the thing with Whitney, I was like, wait, I mean, I work. I feel like everyone works, so I feel like that's okay. And the husband seems like very supportive. Like all the husbands like basically are like, bet this means I don't have to work. Like every single husband on Mormon Wives like have become stay-at-home dads.
Yeah,
So
and so like, and I think that's what's the most important is like they have one parent that's there with them the whole time, which is nice. Half of us don't even have that. And then she's just gonna go do her thing, and then she'll see her kids, obviously, like every single day still. She'll still be with them. She's just gonna be working. Like, I don't think there's anything wrong with it.
I wonder if these husbands are going to get burnt out. Like, you know how stay-at-home moms get really burnt out, but like their husbands like making all the money, so they're like whatever. Do you feel like the husbands on Mormon Wives will get burnt out?
Yeah, I mean it's definitely like an issue when it comes to like gender roles for sure, and like what they probably feel, and like they're gonna get burnt out, and then they might get resentment. You know, they might feel like this type of
That's what most women. That's what happens.
I know, but yeah, but their resentment will come from a different area of like, oh my God, like, and like maybe like sadness, like, oh, I'm not the one making the money, and they are, where like it's usually the guy like, you know, does that. But
I don't care what you say. If Jordan, by the way, like was the one cashing in the dough and Jesse cheated on him, he would have left so fast.
Oh, for sure.
Like so fast. Anyways, we do want to talk Salt Lake City. So I just wanted to touch on that because I was reading the reaction to our last episode. And I just wanted to touch on some points.
Oh, I kind of wrote a recap. You don't want me to go through
Oh,
the
you
recap?
did? I didn't know that you did that. Okay.
I always do Salt Lake City, and everyone loves when they do it.
Okay, go ahead. Go on.
But I didn't like at the very end again, you guys, like with Salt Lake City, like I can't keep up with their fighting. Like when they fight like this, it's the hardest thing to write notes because like everyone's in on it, everyone's doing things. So we'll just like touch like
well,
at the very end.
I wrote notes too.
Okay, at the very end, I mean, I wrote notes about we'll talk about the main people, the main fighting. But we started the episode off with Bronwyn going to the airport dressed as a crazy person. And I love that she's not embarrassed, but like I would die of embarrassment, you guys. Like, how is this a thing that she does all the time?
It's interesting because Bronwyn definitely is someone who cares so deeply what people think. And in a situation like that, when you're going and you're like going to the airport where you're being loud, like you're going to get attention. If you look different, you're going to get attention. If you know, so it's like where people will probably judge and stuff. And she cares so deeply what people think. So it's like, I am just surprised that she does stuff like that.
Do you think it's like I don't know what it is. I really don't actually. But listen, like they're in the car. Okay, you guys, this is where I just can't with their relationship. They're in the car, and Brown was like, I'm gonna get in trouble. Like literally, like she's talking to her dad and mom, like I'm gonna get in trouble. And he's like, oh, with your friends? Like it's like their relationship is so odd to me. And she's like, yeah, like she's like telling him how she kind of, you know, got in the middle of the whole airplane situation, and she told Meredith what Whitney said, but just the way she has to tell her husband this is just odd. Like if I was in drama with my husband, I would just be like, hey, like look what happened, this is what happened, you know. Like don't you agree with the way she talks about it? It's really weird.
It's just very like if I know my husband just doesn't like these ladies and has no interest and thinks that like I'm constantly in drama with them, like I'm not even going to be telling my husband any of this stuff.
No, I agree. Because all this, though, she says that she wants to throw a Boston tea party where they're going to spill the tea that they've said to each other. And it's funny because, like, we have seen them do this before in Salt Lake City, but it's just like, you know, they have to come up with all these weird parties that create drama. I don't know. That's like where it gets a little forced. But did you like that idea that she wanted to do?
I mean, it makes things definitely interesting. That's for sure. I mean, you know, I think that's what kind of sets Salt Lake City apart is they do like these random themes. They have to come up with this stuff. And by the way, you know, Bethany was like, she just did like a Q&A where she talked about, you know, we thought that when it came to like the private jet, which I still think when it comes to the private jet, Bravo's not going to cover the cost for that. But she was like talking about like trips and stuff. And she's like, it's so funny how people like, look, take a listen to this. Cause I just think about when they all fight about this and they're like, I hosted this and I did this. And I found it to be very interesting. Look.
I'll ask if Bravo pays for the trips and the parties. Of course Bravo pays for the trips. They're not enjoyable. There's only one person who I love for this who enjoyed the trips. It was Ramona. Ramona like acted like she was going on a real trip. For any of us, it was like we were going into the coal mines, like to come out covered in soot. I mean, it was not a vacation. Like it was insane. But Ramona would get excited and get her, hot yellow bikini and get all excited about it and shop for it. And she would always make a meal out of it. She would always then ghost Sonia after or before, scam it. Can I stay 2 more days? She would always find some loophole. Ramona also really believed in her own myth when they'd tell her that boat that we got for Scary Island was her boat, or that the house in Florida, when Sonia, fell down, that's really her house. She would believe it was her house. There'd be fights in between people at the house, fighting between whose house it really was, for the trip. It's a fake story where you're saying that you're inviting everyone. You didn't pay a goddamn nickel for the yacht or the place. So we used to fight for the most stupid things. Everyone wanted the credit for oh, it was my idea to go.
How funny is that?
Yeah, I'm crying because you guys, if anybody knows the OGs of New York City, you could just imagine Ramona getting ready for these trips, and that's so on point, and it's just so funny because it's so true.
That's why Ramona, controversial as she is, she made really good TV because it was authentic, dude. But I just find it, because I just thought about that, because they all have to come up with something to host and something to do. But then I just thought about the trips when they're this is my trip that I planned, that I invited you. You need to be in this room. And Bethany's out here saying it was a fake storyline. We were all fighting, taking credit as if we paid for this. I think the only thing that Housewives pay for is if they do the private jet thing.
Yeah, no, I can see that. Especially because it's their private jet, so it's they're not going to pay for that.
Yeah, that was just a side note.
No, I do. I mean, I always love that's the stuff that I love the most, you guys. That's why we love interviewing people, is knowing about behind the scenes things, what it really is that. That's so interesting to me always.
I agree.
We get to this scene of Whitney sitting in her chair, looking over her beautiful pond view, and the sunset is coming down, and you could tell she's pissed. And I'm like, what's about to happen, And then her husband comes out, you guys. Her husband walks slowly out to the other chair, and he's like, hey, and she's like, hey, and he's like, what are you thinking about? And so then obviously he knew that what they were going to talk about, but when he ends up telling us about the whole situation, and I felt so bad for her, and I will get your take in a second, but she basically explains to us that this was her baby. She did so much for Wild Rose Beauty, and I guess for a week she was interviewing at the big box stores like Sephora and Ulta. I don't know how true this is, but she was doing all that. And this was around the same time, a couple of months before, let's say, Justin comes on to help her make this bigger. And he ends up telling her to go with another deal that they were throwing all these numbers in her face, and she obviously doesn't trust her husband. And so she does this deal. She probably rushes into this deal, not waiting to hear back from these people. And this deal goes south, and she's pissed off. This is where all of her, all of her whole beauty line is basically destroyed. And, oh yeah, she brings up this topic because she's like, I saw that you transferred money from our account to this person or to a vendor. And he's like, I just want to do the right thing. So it's again, it's all about money. You guys, money's the worst thing to fight about in a marriage, but you could just tell she's still so hurt and she's still struggling with it. And he says sorry, but she's holding on to the resentment. Do you feel like she should be like that, or, it's kind of a tough situation?
Well, here's some clarification. All she said was that she met the Sephora owner. She didn't say that I had a meeting with the Sephora owner to see if they could carry my products. All she said was that she met her. So to me, I'm like, wait, why is Whitney putting this on her husband? Because on one hand, she says, my husband doesn't support me. My husband, didn't believe in this. He really was checked out of this. He didn't care for this. And then on another hand, she's now saying, you and our business partners flashed numbers to me, and I chose that over Sephora. Sephora never said they would carry her products. That never, ever happened. So all we heard was, I met the owner. That's it. Not that, because here's the thing. When you are trying to get launched to Sephora, half the time you're not meeting with the owner of Sephora. There's people who have jobs that are meeting with you to see if it makes sense for their brand. So I just feel like she just happened to meet her, but she never had actually any interviews to carry. Let's be real, Chantel.
I know, but I think her stuff. I know, but listen, I think her point was that that was the goal. Let's say the goal was to get into the big box stores, whatever it was Ulta, Sephora, whatever it was, like that was a goal. So I think for her, like she's saying to her husband, like, like he wasn't corporate. He like did such a good job in those corporate worlds. And so like, I think she sees her husband be very successful in those corporate worlds. And it's like, why were you not that successful with my beauty brand? Like what happened? Like, why weren't you there for me? Because I was excited for you to be there for me. And I 100% can understand that. Like, imagine like, your partner's so good at something and then he doesn't do it for your own brand and then it goes to shit.
I mean, I think that they oversold who Whitney is. And, that's maybe what you need to do when you are a husband and you're like, look at who you are. Like, you're totally going to kill this. You're totally going to do good. So I feel like he did believe in her, that he got excited and said, this is what we're going to be able to accomplish. And they just, like overhyped her. And that's what it is.
And then you're saying like the product in itself didn't suffice.
No, it didn't. And now, then she's like upset that they probably owe people money, but they have to pay back money. They lost a lot of money. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
He's saying, I have to do the right thing. And she's mad about that. Like, what are you going to hold on to that money that you owe?
I want to see what her products were.
It was like a skin product, remember?
Yeah, skincare. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nebraska Public Media Sports brings you live coverage of the NSAA High School Football Championships. Monday, November 24th. Class D1 plays at 10 a.m., Class D2 at 2:30 p.m., and Class B at 7 p.m. Central. Watch all day on Nebraska Public Media or live stream every game on Nebraska Public Media's YouTube channel.
We find Vecna, we end this once and for all, together.
On December 25th.
We have a plan. It's a bit insane. Everyone in?
He knows where we are. Watch out! Get ready for one last adventure.
We stay true to ourselves. Stay true to our friends, no matter the cost.
Found you. Stranger Things, Season 5, Volume 2 begins December 25th. Only on Netflix.
Oh, Hilton stay. Your beds are soft and cozy. No lumpy couch, no stiff futon, no shower line at crack of dawn. Oh, Hilton stay.
When you want holiday comfort you can count on, it matters where you stay. Enjoy comfortable rooms and friendly service when you stay with Hilton instead. Save up to 25% this season when you book with Hilton. Hilton for the stay. Terms apply.
It's decent packaging. Okay. Yeah, I doubt it'd be in there,
Yeah, like
but I do like, I can see like, the husband and wife dynamic. Like I work with my husband, you guys, and it's the hardest thing. Like there's so many like just like complaints and issues and like this and that, and you're trying to figure out who's better at what. It's so hard. It's so hard.
Well, she wanted to, like, she's like, she confuses me because at times she's like, I want to, like, I needed more support from you. I wanted you to be excited for me. I wanted you to help me. And then at times she's like opposite. So she's just like all over the place.
Yeah. Heather is setting up her kids' bed in college colors. I love how people do this like nowadays. That didn't happen when we were going to college at all. So it's so cute, the school spirit, and makes it look so much fun. Her daughter's going to Tampa, which is like the same college that Melania's at. And I wonder, like, I doubt they did, but it's like all the Bravo kids should like, form together. It would have been fun or cool if they like reached out to each other, or have, because they're both going to the same school and both of their moms are on a reality show. Like, what are the odds?
Yeah.
But I feel for Heather because she says like, she raised the kids, like she did all on her own. And like, when your kids are good kids and you did it on your own, like you do want the praise. It's such a good reflection on you. It sucks when you're a good parent and then they do bad, but, and you don't want that on you. But like when they really are good kids and they do so well, it's like, you want that.
Yeah.
So they're all heading to the tea party, and Brittany, they're in the car, and Brittany tells them that, her and Meredith are moving on, that they had this conversation. Me and you didn't recap those episodes. When you did see that episode of them having that conversation, did you feel it was genuine of Meredith?
With who? Meredith and
Brittany.
who?
And Brittany, like when they were apologizing to each other.
I think that, at the end of the day, I think that Meredith had to say sorry because literally, I don't know what the hell they were all trying to do and trying to like ice her out or just acted like she did the most disgusting thing ever. So like they tripped her out that she's like, I have to say sorry. But I don't think she likes Brittany.
Yeah, no, a lot of them don't though. So like that's where like I think when they were all having that luncheon after Mary's church service, like the biggest point they had, which was so good, was like she doesn't like her. She doesn't like her either. But they all rallied around her because you like tormented her. It was like it was a good, point of their argument. Cause like a lot of people don't like Brittany. Like she has problems with most of the people in the cast.
Yeah.
They get to the tea party. It was a really badass, like, setup. Like everyone was explaining it like it was like Disney World or Disneyland over there. So Bronwyn did a great job. And they had a bunch of like tea party food and some hot dogs. And then of course, Mary throws a little dig at the food, and she just is so funny to me. But she's like, did they even have hot dogs back in the day? Is this even real food? She's like, I'm on McDonald's now. I want a fish fillet. People rave about the fish fillet. Like, have you had the fish fillet from McDonald's?
I've never tried that, yeah.
Same. I've tried the fish fillet from Culver's though, and it is good.
I feel like the luck that I would have is that I would bite into it and it would be freezing in the middle.
Oh my god! I'll put
yeah, right? Like, I really feel like if I ever eat the fish fillet, that is what would happen to me. Disgusting.
They're all there at the party. So Bronwyn's explaining the game, and she's basically saying like we're all gonna have to write who we have spilled tea about and basically talk that through. So she's thinking this could be like therapeutic, and like if I sat there and said, hey Rexian, I did this to you, like I don't think it'd be therapeutic, but they're gonna give it a try. So Angie starts off.
It really wasn't therapeutic for Bronwyn. So
yeah. Oh yeah, from last year when they showed the throwbacks.
Well, when Heather said her thing, it clearly was not therapeutic.
Oh yeah, she's again, like you said, she does care so much about what people say.
Well, I mean, even when she told her mom, like you skipped the whole scene with her mom. And
oh yeah, I did write about the mom. I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, yeah, like she went to a sex store with her mom, and obviously this is so unusual for her mom. And her mom literally was like, I typically don't do this, but listen, like I like to do things out of my comfort zone. I used to care, and now I don't care about what people think. And her mom gives her praise, and she like felt, and that was nice to see. Like she felt like so supported, like she loved to hear that. But then like, she talks about how like she's always like worried about what people think of her. And again, that's why I talk about that airport scene, or even like when we met her and, just seeing how she reacted to Heather during this. Like, I'm like, that face that she made is like literally the face she made when we met her. So I'm like, oh, okay. So I don't know. I find that to be very interesting.
The one thing I do find interesting, because I want to know, we don't know much about this stuff, is that she is making flags in that scene. She was making flags for the LGBTQIA because they passed a law saying that no government buildings can have the flag out. We're in Michigan. Like I never drive through government buildings and see a flag. I know it's not a law here, but like, is that a law in other spots? I'm very curious about that, because it's like, I'm happy they're going about it, but I just, it's so weird that they would pass a law about it. Like no government buildings even have a flag other than the United States flag, So it's like to go out of your way to pass a law is just so weird. It's like you're making people really vote on that.
Oh, I didn't even understand that.
Yeah, that's what she's saying. So it's just so weird because like we have a Capitol. I drive to Lansing all the time. Like, there's no flags on there, but I don't think it's a law that you can't have it. So like I can see them rebelling against it. Just Utah is fucking weird, you guys. I'm so sorry.
We really are. I'm so sorry. Like we're gonna have our Utah listeners be like, "Girl, bye." But I'm so sorry.
No, but it is weird. Like you guys are passing a law about that.
Do you think conversations like the one that Bronwyn's having with her mom would happen if it wasn't for the show?
No, but I also think that's why it's a beautiful blessing. That's why the show is a good thing. It forces people to talk, and do those things and have those conversations, even with their husbands. Sometimes the way that they talk to their husbands, it forces them to sit in a different light, in a different way. And I like that about the show.
I just think and I don't think it's the Housewives problem. I think it's like production's problem, where they push storylines so heavily that it's like, I'm like, this isn't authentic, because like these conversations would not be had if it wasn't for the show. And like, yeah, of course, like it does push for that. And in this moment, it was good because she got the praise about being such a great mom, which is the best compliment you could ever get. But I'm also like, these forced storylines are just, they don't feel authentic to me.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Go back to spilling the tea.
Yeah, spilling the tea. And so Angie starts first, and She basically writes, like, I don't know if you want to explain this a little bit more, but she basically says that she spilled the tea about, Lisa buying a horse. Like, why was it such a big deal?
She was saying that in the Spill the Tea game, she's like, yeah, I heard that you bought a horse, but like, did you actually buy a horse? Because knowing you, if you bought a horse, you would put it all over social media. Like, I love Angie. Like, I was an Angie stan. I always say this, her first season when no one was. And I'm like, I don't get the Angie hate. Like, I don't get why people don't like Angie. Then obviously that turned and people started loving her. But like, this whole thing with Lisa is such
it's too much. I think it's
such a reach.
It's like obsessive a little bit now, and it's like, it's like you can't, maybe because she, we always say they have to have a problem with somebody, and she doesn't have really problems with anyone else, so she's like, let me really go in on this one. But it's like, you guys were friends too, so it's just like, it's too much to me.
Yeah, I don't know. I agree. Like, it's like petty and fun, but I'm just like, Angie, like, that's so dumb. Like, you're just saying, if you got a horse, you'd have posted it. You didn't post it, so you didn't get a horse. And I'm like, this is so dumb.
And it's just because she's like jealous because she is a horse. Like, her daughter does horse riding, so she's just like more upset by that. But it's like, people can have horses too, okay?
Yeah.
Brittany said she doesn't have anything, but wants to know who spilled the tea about her. Like, this is why Brittany is so funny to me. Yeah. She's like, bitches, I haven't spilled the tea, but I don't know who spilled the tea about me. And she says that who spilled the tea about her flirting with Joao, I always say his name wrong, from the ship, and that Jared found out. And so she's wanting to know, and we end up finding out that Whitney tells Justin about like her flirting with people on the boat, so that's probably how it got out. And then Mary's like, not Jared again. Like, they're so overhearing about Jared. But then, you know what, like, if she really is with him, like, we do see them filming together. He is thirsty, you guys, but we do see them filming together. They still are, like, they're still hanging out and stuff like that. So it's like, he is a part of her life,
right?
Like, it's not like some fling where she's like, yeah, no. It's like they're really with each other.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Heather says that she, spilled the tea or wants to know more about the Todd making out with someone and farting. And then go ahead if you want to explain how Bronwyn got mad.
No, Bronwyn was just not having it. And she like had that scary face a little bit. And she's like, don't go there. And Heather was scared. Like, everyone was. If you looked at everyone's face, they were like, oh my gosh, this is like really scary. And Heather was scared. And like, to the point that Heather was like, okay, I'm sorry for even bringing that up.
Yeah.
And I was like, ay, por favor.
Whitney is still upset about Bronwyn spilling her tea, and she, she's like to her, like, that was just not, like, I thought I was confiding in a friend. Like, they all do this, but Bronwyn does this a lot. She did it. I mean, she doesn't like Brittany, but she did it with Brittany too. It's like, you tell her something, she right away, because she's so scared that she has this information, she right away goes and tells that person. She is a gossip queen. Like, we've seen it so many times in her first like season and a half now, and like, you tell her one thing, she right away goes and tells that person right away. Like, it's annoying. So and
but
you know
she
what,
like switched up so much on Meredith. Like, Meredith didn't ask her to like meet with her and tell her. Like, she decided to tell her, and then she was like, and to be in Whitney's good graces, like, she's so turned on Meredith.
Yeah. Oh yeah, like you're saying afterwards.
Yeah, like when they were all talking about it, like like I the whole time they've been talking about the situation, once it was confronted about like, Meredith knowing because of Bronwyn, like once Whitney found out, you saw Bronwyn switch up real quick and be like, yeah, about at least the whole thing with Meredith. She's like, yeah, I heard her, but like, I don't believe her and all this crap. I don't even know, the way that she reacted to it was just weird.
Yeah. And so like, this is where Whitney, gets a little upset because she's like, they always want to make me a scapegoat. They're always, they love to use the word gaslit in this season or this cast. She's like, they always gaslight me. Like, you guys always gaslight me. And then, Meredith calls her a liar. And so like, that really triggers Whitney. And Whitney's like, you're going to call me a liar? Well, you're an alcoholic. You're a pill popper. And so she literally says those things. And I don't know if it's her actually meaning those things, or she's just trying to say that you can't just throw out accusations and have these like statements of a person. But again, I don't think a liar versus a pill popper and alcoholic are the same. It's not apples and oranges there to me. And so Meredith Fashion's like, you know what? She knew that they were going to go there. She knew that it was going to get brought up, this alcoholic thing. So she came prepared, you guys. She went and got gifts, and she brought them out to each person. and they're opening up the gift and it's cold. And one thing was her caviar, which is funny. And then she ends up giving there's a drug test in there. And she was like, if you're going to call me a druggie, like, let's all take a drug test. Let's all see what this is. And so like, I thought that was kind of smart of her. I was like, wow,
I want to say something
Uh-huh.
about when Meredith, because here's the thing. At the end of the day, the whole cast was mad at Lisa for not defending Brittany when Meredith vented. But then I thought it was very interesting that literally Whitney straight up says you're an alcoholic and a pill popper, and not one person defended Meredith. And that's like crazy accusations. Like there's just so much hypocrisy. But I will say that when the drug test came out, no one came across more guiltier than Whitney.
Like you're saying she was scared that like it would come up with some stuff.
She was so scared. Her tone changed immediately when that drug test came out, where she's like, Meredith, I just love you and I just want this for you. And that's why, like, I just love you. Like she wanted to avoid it. And then she was like, I only took alcohol. So if I take it, like I only took alcohol. And then Meredith is like, all right, good. Then there won't be nothing else. Right. Like she came across so guilty to me. It was crazy.
Well, this is why Housewives is funny, because honestly, like okay, you guys, they know so much about each other. They don't like tell it all the time. Like they know what each other does. Like I'm sure they know this person takes like Xanax and this person does this and this person maybe does coke. Who knows? Okay, but they know. Okay, and so this was the best thing for Meredith to come out, because she's like, I got you, bitches. Let's all take the drug test. Like I know none of you guys are like 100% clean over here, So I thought it was the most clever thing in the world. I would love for all of them to take it and show us it. So let's do it. Let's all you guys do it though.
But that's the thing is like, I swear, Chanel, you need to watch back that scene, because if you see the guilt from Whitney, that she completely started being nice to Meredith, where she was like, I just wanted to support you, Meredith. Like, and I was like, wait, what is this coming from? Like, you've been so harsh and aggressive with her. And now all of a sudden you're saying you love her and all this stuff. And I'm like, this girl is deflecting because she doesn't want to take the drug test. And it's like you said, it's probably because maybe she has shared that she's done this obvious, or maybe there is something in there, and maybe she has taken Xanax, and all of that is going to show. And she's probably freaking the fuck out. And maybe they're doing other drug tests. Like, I don't know what drug tests would be like get picked up from it, or what pills would show, but that girl deflected like no other. And I'm so mad because Meredith allowed it. And I feel like the drug test thing, no one ends up taking it.
Yeah, no, it doesn't seem like they were, but you know what? You don't need to take it. The point was proven, honestly, right there and then, because you could, like you said, like she looked more guilty, and everyone's like, okay, I'll shut the hell up now, because we all do some shady shit.
Yeah, it was, to me, you guys, I was like, wow, she looks so guilty. She's definitely on something.
We then see Heather and Meredith get into it, and there's really no resolution there. But like, what is your take on? I'm not like, I didn't really write notes like of what they said to each other. But what is, unless you want to talk, unless you wrote notes about it, but like, what is your take on Heather really going hard with Meredith and vice versa?
I think it's like weird. There was even a point where Mary's like, wait, Heather, what are you even mad about? And I think she's just like going too far. It's like crazy because like you had the whole Jen Shaw thing, which by the way, Andy Cohen said that he draws the line with Jen Shaw. She's not coming back. But you have the Jen Shaw thing, right? And Heather always like defended every action she did. And then like to go so hard with Meredith, who she even admits like she never had an issue with, like it's all just very, very weird. And I hope that, I kind of hope that people are on, and I don't know, but people are on more so Meredith's side, because I feel like that she has been really targeted this season and to me this season for no reason.
Yeah, I think so, but I also think that they would have had her side. They all said it, like if like she didn't do what she did on the plane.
Yeah, but I mean, I also think she was just venting to a friend. There's a time and a place for it, but I think that everything is literally being so exaggerated because it's easier to focus on one person so that you yourself are not targeted.
Yeah, no, that's true. Good thought process there.
Thank you so much. But
that's all. Is anything else you wanted to say about the episode?
No, I think that's I think it's good. It's great. It's honestly, Salt Lake City is really fucking good. So.
Yeah, even like the 2 episodes that we missed, I think like those were such
I know
good
I caught
episodes.
up on it. Me too. I was like, dude, the show is really so good.
Yeah, but you know what's funny? Because like they're like Andy like had said it was the episode where I think Mary was talking a little bit more about her church and her son, not the actual church service, or it was the church service one. I think he said that was one of the best. He said that's the best episode on the franchise, and I was like, wait, like that was such a dramatic statement to say. Like I was like waiting for something crazier or whatever. It was beautiful, but he was like that was the best episode in the whole. Like Andy's just funny when he makes statements like that. But
yeah, I don't know why he does that. To be quite honest,
yeah, me either.
I really don't. I'm dying about the church thing where like Brittany, she didn't invite Brittany because Brittany said that Mary was not godly because like Mary is like mean and stuff. And so then Mary didn't invite her.
I know. And she's like, I asked my dog and she just takes those signs so seriously. And I was cracking up. Mary really is like a star.
Yeah, she's funny. But that's all that we have. Make sure you guys join our Patreon, where we do 2 additional episodes and we do
And
lots.
you can show us your Christmas tree. Everyone's showing us their Christmas tree.
Which, by the way, I on Patreon, Chantel shared her Christmas and I shared mine, and everyone was like way more obsessed with my Christmas stuff.
We literally talked about this. I didn't share mine. I literally just put my tree like from like one time in a chat. Like one person responded. It was like so nonchalant. So like I didn't even share my Christmas.
Everyone was like, "No, yeah, wow,
okay,
this is way better." But there is that. But anyways, we do got to get started with working in a few minutes. So. Thank you guys so much for listening. We love you. We'll be back next week, but definitely join on Patreon and have a great weekend, guys. Bye.
Bye, guys.
It's only Wednesday, and I'm like, have a great weekend, but bye.
We're done. We're done with the Housewives on the regular one. So
exactly.
that's why.
All right. Bye, guys.